viewers, in today's lecture we shall be discussing with physical properties of alkanes. So when I talk of physical properties of alkanes, we will be discussing four physical properties, that is boiling point, melting point, solubility and density. Before starting with boiling point, let us look into the state of alkanes. So when I talk of alkanes, then what we know is that the first four members of alkanes, which is methane, ethane, propane and butane, are gases at room temperature and pressure, whereas straight chain alkanes containing C5 to C17 carbon atoms are liquids. And if I talk of unbranched alkanes and which are having 18 carbon atoms or more, they are solids at room temperature. So now if I talk of the boiling point of these alkanes, which are maybe gases, liquid or liquids, then we know that which are liquids, then what we know that boiling point of a compound is the temperature at which the liquid form of the compound becomes a gas, that is, it vaporizes. So when we are discussing boiling point, that is, we are discussing boiling point of alkanes from pentane onwards. And we also know that in order for a compound to vaporize, the forces that holds the individual molecules close to each other in the liquid must be overcome. This means that the boiling point of a compound depends on the strength of the attractive forces between the individual molecules. So if the molecules are held together by strong forces, it will take a lot of energy to pull the molecules away from each other, and the compound will have a high melting point. In contrast, if the molecules are held together by weak forces, only a small amount of energy will be needed to pull the molecules away from each other, and the compound will have a low boiling point. That is what I mean here is that the intermolecular forces of attraction between the molecule will be either weak or strong, depending on whether the molecule is polar or non-polar. And we know that in alkanes, the forces which are holding alkane molecules together are relatively weak forces, because alkanes contain only carbon and hydrogen atoms, and also because there is very little difference in electronegativities of carbon and hydrogen atoms. So what we know is that alkanes are non-polar in nature. Since alkanes are non-polar in nature, therefore there is no significant charges on any of the atoms in alkane. We also know that electrons are moving continuously. So at any instant, the electron density on one side of the molecule can be slightly higher than that on the other side, giving molecule a temporary dipole. So now when a molecule has a temporary dipole, what it can do is it can induce a temporary dipole on a nearby molecule. So as a result of this, what happens is that one side of the molecule will have a negative end, and on the other side will have the positive side. So that means one side of the molecule will have a negative end, which I have shown here, and the other side has a positive end. Now this will induce the charges in the next molecule, and this will again be further along the entire molecules. So what we find is that this molecule is inducing a dipole in the other molecule, and therefore the forces of attraction between the molecules are van der Waals forces, which are induced dipole interactions. And now since the molecules of alkanes are held together by these induced dipole interactions, which I have already said are also known as van der Waals forces, And these were named as van der Waals forces after Johannes D. van der Waal, who was a Dutch physicist, and he was awarded a Nobel Prize in 1903 for his work on gaseous and liquid states of matter. So we know that van der Waals forces are the weakest of the all intermolecular attractions, and in order for an ethane to boil, these van der Waals forces must be overcome. The magnitude of van der Waals forces that hold alkane molecules together depends on the area of contact between the molecules. So we know the greater the area of contact, the stronger are the van der Waals forces, and the greater is the amount of energy required to break these forces. So that means the boiling point of alkane will increase as their size increases. Now we know the first four members, that is alkanes. If I talk of methane, ethane, propane or butane, then these will boil below room temperature because these are gases. And therefore what we find is, since their boiling point is low, it is below 25 degrees Celsius, so these four compounds will exist as gases at room temperature. Now pentane is the simplest, smallest alkane that is liquid at room temperature, and its boiling point is 36 degrees. Because the strength of van der Waals forces, now second point that you have to remember is that the strength of van der Waals forces will depend on the area of contact between the molecules. Hence what we know is that if there is branching in the molecule, the area in contact will become less, the surface area, and this will lower the boiling point as the area in contact is less. So now if I talk of a branch compound and I talk of the simplest alkane which is liquid at room temperature, which is pentane, then what we find is that pentane has three isomers, that is pentane, isopentane and neopentane. In pentane the carbons are arranged in a straight line, whereas when we talk of isopentane it has one branch on it, and when we talk of neopentane it has two branches. And what we find is that as the branching increases, the boiling point decreases. That is pentane, the boiling point of N-pentane is 36, whereas that of isopentane is 27 and that of neopentane is 9.5. So why this decrease in boiling point? As I have said that as the branching increases, the surface area in contact decreases. Now let us visualize that pentane has a cigar-like shape because all the carbon atoms are arranged in straight line, whereas neopentane has a shape of tennis ball. So now if you look into this slide, then what we find here is that two cigars make a contact over greater area. So imagine this is one cigar, this is the other cigar, both are coming in contact like this. Whereas when I talk of a tennis ball, it is spherical. Then here the surface area in contact is less, which I have shown in this slide. So since the surface area in contact is less, hence less energy is required to break these intermolecular forces, and the boiling point of neopentane is less than that of normal pentane. So what you have to remember now is that whenever we compare the isomers, even when we are talking of isomers of hexane, then as the branching will increase, the boiling point will decrease. The next point that is important when we talk of alkanes, then it is the melting point. Now what is melting point? Melting point is the temperature at which a solid is converted into a liquid. And now melting point depends on the size of the molecule, that is the molecular weight. It also depends on the arrangement of molecule in the crystal lattice. That is, if the arrangement is regular, that means the packing will be more compact and it will affect the melting point. So what we find is that if we talk of the melting point and what we find is that the packing is not very strong or it is not very regular, then the boiling point will decrease. That is, increase in melting point is less regular than the increase in boiling point, because the packing influences the melting point of a compound. So when we talk of melting point of alkanes, what we find is that the alkanes having even number of carbon atoms will have melting point higher than the alkanes which are having odd number of carbon atoms. Why is this so? Because packing is a property that determines how well the individual molecule in a solid will fit together in a crystal lattice. So if an alkane is having even number of carbon atom, there it is more symmetrical and it will fit more closely. Its molecules will fit more closely in a crystal lattice. And the tighter the fit, the more energy will be required to break the lattice and melt the compound. So what I have already said is that alkanes which have even number of carbon atoms, they will have higher melting points than the next lower alkane as well as the next higher alkane having odd number of carbon atoms. So here I have shown a graph, and what we've shown in this graph is that I have shown you two curves. One curve is being indicated by a red line and the other by a blue line. So what we find here is that is the alkanes which are having even number of carbon atoms. For example, if I talk of butane, then or a pentane, then of hexane, then what I find is that hexane has a higher melting point when its melting point is compared to that of pentane or that of heptane. Why is it so? Because what happens is, and when we look at the two curves, what we find is that the two curves, that is the two melting point curves of alkanes having even number of carbon atoms and those of alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms, do not overlap, because these alkanes which are having odd number of carbon atoms, they are less tightly packed than alkanes with even number of carbon atoms. So this is what I had shown in this, and then now if we go into look into the graph. So what I've shown here is that when we look into the alkanes which are having odd number of carbon atoms, then what we find is that these alkanes are unsymmetrical, and since they are unsymmetrical, the terminal methyl groups are on the same side. Since they are on the same side, they cannot be packed tightly into crystal lattice. So what happens is, as a result, the intermolecular forces are weak, leading to a lower melting point as compared to alkanes having even number of carbon atoms. Here I have shown the packing. So in the first slide what we've shown is that the alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms are not packed that closely, whereas alkanes having even number of carbon atoms are symmetrical. That is, in that case, the methyl group is on the opposite side and they will fit more closely into crystal lattice, and hence the intermolecular forces of attraction will be strong and it will be difficult to break these bonds. So alkanes having, what we have to remember is that when we talk of boiling point increases with molecular mass. In melting point also increases with molecular mass, but that is not very even. In that case, alkanes having even number of carbon atoms are having melting point more as compared to alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms. Now, if we talk of solubility, then what we say is that solubility of a molecule can be explained on the basis of the polarity of a molecule. That is, we say that like dissolves like, that polar compounds will dissolve in polar solvents and non-polar compounds dissolve in non-polar solvents. Why is it this so? And since we know that alkanes are not soluble in water. Why are alkanes not soluble in water? Because alkanes are non-polar in nature. Why are they non-polar in nature? Because the alkanes, there is no difference in electronegativity of the carbon and hydrogen, as a result of which they are not polar. And since alkanes are not polar, they are not able to break the attractive forces between the, what I mean here is that the attractive forces between the alkane and the water molecule here should be strong enough to replace dipole-dipole attractive forces between water molecules, which alkanes cannot do so. What I mean here is that since alkanes are non-polar, they are not able to break intermolecular hydrogen bonding between water molecules, and hence they are not soluble in water. Whereas when we talk of non-polar solvents, then alkanes dissolve in non-polar solvents because the van der Waals interactions between the solvent and the solute molecules are about the same as between solvent-solvent and solute-solute particles. What I mean here is that the forces between the non-polar solvent, which can be dichloromethane, and if I talk of, say, pentane. So what we find here is that the interactions between these two are same, as they are as strong as those which would have been between the carbon tetrachloride, if that was the non-polar solvent we were considering, and that between the solute-solute particles, that is between the pentane molecules. So since alkanes are able to break the interactions between the non-polar solvent molecules, they are soluble in non-polar solvents. Now, if we look into the density, then what we find is the density of alkanes increase with increasing molecular weight. And what we find is that even an alkane which is having 30 carbon atoms in it, that is tricontane, whose density at 20 degrees Celsius is 0.8097 grams per ml, and this density is less as compared to water, whose density is 0.9982 grams per ml at 20 degrees Celsius. So that means that these alkanes will now float on water because they are less dense than water. So now what we know is that because alkanes are non-polar in nature, they are less dense than water, so they will float on water. And this is the example. What we can say is you can see it in nature when there's oil spills take place. And what we find in this slide is that oil being heavier, being less dense than water, and since it is insoluble in water, it floats, and there is the water is the lower surface. So this is how we've discussed the physical properties. So when we talk of the physical properties, then we know that alkanes which are having lower alkanes, that is from methane to butane, are gases. Pentane, alkanes having 5 to 17 carbon atoms are liquids, and higher than that are solids. Second thing that we have discussed in this, I'm just quickly recapitulating what we've done. Then we discussed the boiling point of the alkanes, and what we found is that since the alkane molecules are held together by weak intermolecular forces of attraction, that is van der Waals forces, the boiling point of alkanes depends on the surface area in contact, and this boiling point increases with increase in surface area. Second point, what we found was that as the branching increases, the boiling point will decrease because the surface area in contact will be less, and the less force will be required to break these intermolecular forces of attraction. Hence, the boiling point of pentane was highest as compared to isopentane and neopentane. Then what we find is that melting point also increases with the molecular mass, but the increase in molecular mass, increase in melting point is not uniform. That is, alkanes having even number of carbon atoms have melting point higher than alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms, which occur immediately below and after it. That is, if I talk of hexane, then hexane will have higher melting point as compared to pentane and heptane, but the melting point of hexane will be lower than octane, which is the next alkane in the series which is having even number of carbon atoms. Then we found that the density of alkanes is less than water, as a result of which they float on water, and alkanes are also not soluble in water because they are not able to break the attractive forces of dipole-dipole interaction between the water molecules, whereas they are soluble in non-polar solvents such as carbon tetrachloride, because they are able to overcome the intermolecular forces of attraction between the non-polar molecules. Now we also know that alkanes, since alkanes are non-polar in nature, because of very little difference in electronegativity of carbon and hydrogen. Not only this, we know that alkanes, now since they are non-polar, they do not have positive centers and they do not have negative centers. And since they do not have positive centers or they do not have negative centers, they cannot react with electrophiles or nucleophiles. At the same time, alkanes are neither acidic nor basic, so they cannot react with acids and bases. And what we find here is that these alkanes are highly unreactive at room temperature, and they do not take part in reactions either with acids, bases, electrophiles or nucleophiles. They will undergo free radical substitution reactions at high temperature. And this is the reason, because alkanes are chemically inert and they do not react at room temperature, that what we find is that the petroleum has stayed here for such a long. So this is where I will stop today, and in our next lecture we will take up with the chemical properties of alkanes. Thank you.
Dear students, this is test for alkanes part 4. Question 1 is, why do boiling points of normal alkanes increase with increase in the number of carbon atoms? Question 2 is, explain the alternation effect with reference to melting points of normal alkanes. Question 3 is, write short note on first, pyrolysis of alkanes, second, solubility of alkanes. Question 4 is, arrange the structural isomers of pentane in decreasing order of their boiling points. Question 5 is, explain the variation of melting points in alkanes with reason. Question 6 is, which has higher boiling point and why, normal pentane or neopentane? Question 7 is, Match the given boiling points with appropriate alkane. The first column represents name of alkanes, that is octane, nonane, 2,2,3,3 tetramethylbutane, 2-methyl-heptane. The second column depicts boiling point in degree Kelvin at 1 atmosphere, that is 379 Kelvin, 389 Kelvin, 399 Kelvin, 424 Kelvin. Question 8 is explain why water is not usually effective in extinguishing a gasoline fire. Question 9 is write down the various structural isomers of an alkane with molecular mass 72. Which of them has the maximum melting point? Give reason. Question 10 is the melting point of 3 isomeric alkanes, that is 2,2,3,3 tetramethylbutane, normal octane, 2,2-dimethylhexane are given below. Match each compound with its melting point. Melting points are 216.2 Kelvin, 154.7 Kelvin, 172.3 Kelvin. Thank you.